Games, my guy.
Boom goes the dynamite.
It's only a game. Why did you catch the man?
Hello, and welcome back to Games My Guy podcast, the esports podcast by fans for fans. My name is Patrick Aches Avery Kenny, and joined as always, I guess you're my twin today. You're wearing a very nice sweater, but my good buddy Ethan Doc Goose Butler. How you doing, man?
I was about to say the very same to you. I think you're very well dressed today. You look positively floral. It's fantastic. I'm sure you smell great.
Thank
you.
You.
Judging by the hoodie.
Yeah.
And we are apparently outlaws today.
Yeah,
so,
this podcast is brought to you by the Houston Outlaws merch.
Which we have bought.
Exactly. Ethan, he bought that sweater and he was like, "Oh, well, I got an extra," and I was like, "I need that. I need that for me."
I remember how it happened. I told my mom about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll understand. This is a really cool sweater." And so I bought one, and then she's like, "Why would you do that? I got you one for like Christmas." I was like, "Well, shit! Now I have like two of these outlaw sweaters." I was like, "Who do I?" At the time, you were like a hardcore Houston fan.
This is before Toronto was a thing.
Before Toronto, and so I was like, "Who do I know who likes the Houston Outlaws enough and would wear a floral Outlaws sweater, pretty much dedicated to Muma?" Patrick.
It's me, baby. It's me. I was a Muma fan. I was a Muma and Cool Matt fan. Oh God. And
bless those boys.
Now I have the sweater to prove it. Look at this.
Oh yeah, we're badass. Look at us. So floral.
I either get made fun of or I get complimented for this sweater. There's no in between. There's no like, "Oh, that's a good sweater. Nice job." It's either that fucking sucks or that's a really nice sweater, man.
I have thought this was the coolest sweater for like years. I think I've worn this on dates. I just thought, you know what? This is high fashion. To me, this was fashion.
Yeah, you're ahead of the curve.
My fashion sense is so off that I was like, I still think this is awesome. So I like the floral design is so cool. But it's like Outlaws. No one actually will know that it's even an esports team. It's just maybe it's a branding thing.
Yeah, it's just
maybe they'll think, but
it's just a lifestyle.
If you didn't look at unless you were looking at like the small Outlaws patch on the base, you wouldn't know. But it's cool. It's comfy.
Very comfy.
It's so soft.
Mm-hmm.
Like big up to, I believe it was Alt Merchandise who made these hoodies. Oh, big ups. Big shout out. If we love you guys at Alt.
Yeah.
If you happen to be listening.
We love you guys. The sweater's nice.
We would like more doodle sweaters, please.
Yeah.
We could have another one of those.
I think Ethan would like a new one, a new sweater to wear.
I would like to do another doodle sweater so I can wear it. So I can have this one looks nice. This one can stay nice, and then the other one's like I can go outside.
That makes sense.
Not much else, but just I can leave the house. I don't have to be afraid of stains on the other one because I've got a spare.
Oh my gosh. Well, we've got some esports news to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a couple of different topics we wanted to get through, but I think the biggest one that is on a lot of people's minds from an esport that we talk about a few times, not too often, but League of Legends is going into the World's Grand Finals this coming weekend in a few days. And I mean, NA had a horrible experience with Worlds.
I think, though, we can all agree when FlyQuest won that one game, we were all NA fans that day.
That day we were all FlyQuest fans.
It was like 8 a.m. I was working, and I was like, well, I'm bored. Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I saw they were playing, so I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. And I got so into it. I was so happy because that's the team I chose back in the summertime. I was trying to find the team to cheer for.
Yeah,
and I was like, hell yeah, FlyQuest. they rustle my jimmies in the right way.
Yeah, who knew Wild Turtle had it in him to get it to Worlds? That's crazy.
I think I saw that one tweet was just like, I forget who. I think it was their top laner who was like feeding excessively. And it's like, despite the best efforts of Santorin, FlyQuest won the game.
Yeah, they kind of know that they're like solidly like a third place team, but like did really well in the gauntlet and stuff. So
they're fun to watch, I guess.
yeah, they're fun. They're super fun to watch. Watching the other NA teams was torture. That's all.
I was about to say, I've heard it was less fun.
It was a lot less fun. Team Liquid didn't do very well. TSM famously is the first North American team to go 0-6 in their group stage.
Oh my goodness! I feel oh my good friend Rob from the Dame House is a major TSM fan. He actually just started his own podcast called Talking TSM, and so I know he was, I think, having a rough time during the TSM games. But.
Yeah, it's hard to it was hard to watch, just because TSM, they had like a really kind of miraculous end of the season where they just started winning again. They were looking really good to represent North America, and with players like Bjergsen and Double Lift and players that are established franchise players, and they've been around forever, and they've been the GOATs of NA for a long time. It was a really bad showing, and it kind of really shook a lot of NA esports personalities and teams. It was kind of, I mean, I can hope that it was a wake-up call, but we won't really know, because we don't really know what is going to change after this, and if things should change, because getting to Worlds it's a big deal, but you also have to think about how they finished in their regions. Like TSM did pretty good in NA, but is their showing at Worlds worth them re-looking at their team and like trying to build a new team that would do well in Worlds? Or do they keep the roster that they have, dominate North America every year, and then just get skunked in Worlds,
I suppose one way is going to make you a lot of money. Well, I guess winning the championship obviously as well will make you a lot of money, but being successful in your home region is kind of insane for like marketing wise, and like you can do so much with just being successful here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want the international recognition. Like NA hasn't had that. It's been a while.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, since NA has been respected in the international stage. No offense. But I was about to say, when you're talking about how everyone was so down, everyone was so shook, I was like, give it like 2 months, and the fans will be back and hyped up and ready to go and thinking they're going to win Worlds.
Oh my God, of course. Once the LCS comes back up, it's gonna be.
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna go right back to where we were.
No problem at all. We're going to win 2021. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're not ready. They're not going to be thinking about NA teams. They're not even going to worry about it. They're not going to watch any VODs.
Well,
it's just going to be boom, victory.
It's true. And I think, well, the first position that they're going to have to fill is mid lane, because they've decided to move Bjergsen over to the head coach position.
I saw that. This is like a long. He's like the Wayne Gretzky of NA.
Pretty much.
League of Legends, and so that's kind of nutty, if I'm not mistaken. As you know, I'm famously knowledgeable about all things League of Legends.
Just think of.
And I didn't write a series in the summer called Learning League.
Yes, that's true. Think about Bjergsen as Logix is to Toronto Defiant. That's pretty much what Bjergsen is. He's a beautiful, like, strong player, in-game player, the guy who pops off, the guy you want on your main roster.
So that's the hard blow. That's a tough blow then.
It is. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the head coaching position. And it was so funny when I found out, like, I saw the video and I was like, okay, I'll just play it in the background while I'm doing other things. And I was like, okay, like, Bjergsen's retiring. Like, this makes sense. Like, he's getting older, like, all this stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll just play it in the background. I'll just do my other stuff. And I'm just like doing my other stuff. And like, I'm listening to the background. And then he's like, yeah, and I've decided to retire from League of Legends and take up the head coach position of TSM. And I was like, what? I like scanned back over and I was like, wait a second. And I had to restart the video. I couldn't believe it.
You're like, sir,
yeah,
you can't just drop this on me on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, I don't have pants on. Like, come on, man.
Sir, what are you doing all here with all this ass news? On a double cheeked up on a Tuesday afternoon, hella retirement, coaching the team.
It doesn't make any sense.
What's going on?
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, so that's pretty crazy. It'll be interesting to see who they pick up for the mid laner, and I guess we'll have to listen to that new podcast to see. Because I'm sure that'll be a hot topic.
Oh hell yeah! He's going to cover all the topics. It's going to be very frequent, from what I understand. And locally, it's going to be a good one. He's hoping to get interviews and things, so that's going to be awesome.
Sweet. That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
We should
and like
we should talk to him in our podcast.
yeah, well,
Just have him and tell us to teach us how the esports scene works with them.
tell us your ways.
Yeah.
But yeah,
tell
no,
us everything.
he's a great guy, so I really like Rob.
Yeah.
But Patrick, with that in
Yes.
mind, who's gonna win Worlds, Patrick? Who's gonna win? Is it gonna be Sunny or Damwon? Damwon.
Yeah. I mean, G2 losing to Danwon in the semis was kind of G2 was like the last West, like everyone's all obsessed with like Western versus like Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
G2 was like the last Western team to go, and Danwon like kind of beat them up a little bit, kind of destroyed them. So I mean, just from watching that series, Danwon looks really, really good. And I believe that they're the favored one. I think so.
I actually put out a poll the other day because I was trying to figure out. Oh, here it is right now. We received 29 votes. Yeah, 66% of people believe Damwon is going to win Worlds. Only 34% chose Sunny.
That's fair.
Oh,
I mean,
29 votes.
Yeah, they have a lot of really, really great players on there. Like Showmaker, their mid laner, is sick. And he plays a lot of like assassin type heroes. So he's hitting kids all day long. Ghost really stepped up in the AD carry role. He really put it to perks. I'm basing a lot of my opinions on Danwon just from that series. Sure. But yeah, they look really, really good. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle the grand finals.
Yeah, I am not as familiar with these two teams. For the primary source of my League of Legends knowledge, as I've been very open about, is I've only recently started to really get into the scene.
Yeah,
because I didn't know a lot about it, and then I just was really fascinated by the whole fan culture of like professional League of Legends. Like I was watching the documentaries after I watched. It was actually a Dota 2 documentary that you told me about. It's free to play.
Oh yes.
And after that got me interested in these things, and I started to be really introduced to a lot of it, and I'm just so amazed by how popular it is and how the creative stuff they were doing. Like the stage for the World has been like, I remember I haven't watched too much of it, but I saw that stage. I was like, and I fainted almost. I was like, oh my god, that is like the coolest shit I think I've ever seen.
Yeah,
just like how it rises up and like you don't see the players and all of a sudden they're there. Oh my god, I loved it.
It's definitely one of the more established esports scenes for sure, and like it's an old game too. So it's really cool that they've been just at the forefront of esports scenes and production value for their events and stuff. It's really cool to see, and they keep getting better.
KDA, which I've really just discovered, the new single "More," I watched the video for it, Patrick, and
oh my god,
it was pretty good.
It was not bad.
Some it's like an anime pop group.
Yeah,
and I wasn't too familiar with this. I saw a bunch of people tweeting about KDA, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then I watched it. It was good.
Yeah,
the dance moves were fire. The anime was cool. The song was catchy. I was into it. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
They so this is not the first time that they've done music to like theme certain like heroes and stuff. Like there used to be oh man, what was this skin called? I think it was called Pentakill, and it was like a rock group. So like Olaf was on the Pentakill. He was like the guitarist, and then like I think Sona was the singer or something like that. It was, and like their skins were like so weird and like so like death metal themed. So it's cool to see that they're like going further with those themes. Like you had the pop star stuff with Ari, I remember that. But they just keep like making new stuff, and now that they're a bigger game and now that they're a bigger scene, they're able to like get K-pop groups to come and like do their dances for them and stuff. It's really
so cool to be honest. This is the type of content that I dream of other esports eventually being able to do, because like the videos they're putting, like the hype videos for this league and stuff like that, is on another level.
Yeah.
Like, they do the content for League of Legends is so good that I'm just so jealous.
Yeah. And then like they have runoff games like Runeterra, and they have like comic books and stuff. Like it's just all over the place. Like they have really tried to make League of Legends as accessible as a fan as possible. Like
it's like a mobile now too.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, oh well, And to the App Store I'd go.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So I mean, how do you feel? Do you think you'll be watching Worlds at all?
What time does it start?
8 in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Not quite as bad as our Hunters games, but still pretty bad.
Oh, I was telling one of my coworkers about how we both stayed up till about 7 a.m. on 2 different nights to watch playoff
Our
games.
favorite APAC teams, and yeah,
no, it was in the playoffs. It wasn't even APAC. It was just,
yes,
I was like the shock, and I was just like, because I remember I was telling him, for me, I was like, I was going to go to bed around 4, and all right, I was going to bed. I was like, pre-show's starting soon. I guess I'll watch that. I've watched the pre-show. You know what? I'll watch map 1. It's only 5 a.m. And then after they won the first map, I was like, okay, I'll watch map 2. Oh, easy clap. Gonna be over real quick. They couldn't fucking finish it in 3 maps, so Ethan wound up staying up till 7:30 because Seoul Dynasty decided to wake the fuck up after halftime, and I was tired, and I couldn't barely fall asleep because I was already awake, and I was so confused what was going on. Like I'm at home right now, and so like my mom's getting up for work because pandemic,
of course,
sheltered my plans to leave, and it was baffling. I didn't know where I was. And then you did the same thing like just the day before.
Yeah, I did. Buddy, it's like it's a slippery slope, right? Like you get through the pre-show and like when I'm watching the pre-show, I'm always like, okay, whatever, I'm kind of done with this. And then as soon as the pre-show ends and like map 1 happens, I'm just like, I can't look away. Like I'm just stuck. Like it doesn't matter what time it is.
You gotta know what's going on. Like so much was at stake. Like, it was the NA versus APAC battle, just fans on both sides were nipping each other's heels for months, and to my chagrin, I was getting so mad at everybody. I was like, shut the fuck up. It's great Overwatch no matter where you're watching it. Leave me alone. But yeah, once you got that first map down, I was like, all right, they're gonna win. Win the second map. That was fairly dominant, boys. I'm gonna be in bed by 6. And then
Mother,
halftime.
make my bed. I shall be in bed shortly.
Warm milk for me, please. But oh my god, that was so tired.
Yeah, it's true.
So maybe 8 a.m. is super early for me, considering when I told you I go to bed at 4.
Yeah,
everyone's talking about like, I know some people are talking about, oh yeah, I wake up for. Well, in my defense, I generally work later in the day, so like I work later than people, and so like I wake up later than people. I go to bed because my sleep schedule's fucked, and so people talking about waking up at like 5 a.m. I'm like. That's why I'm awake. I'm going to bed.
I'm eating dinner. I don't understand what you're doing.
Is the sun before the sun's up? Like, no.
I eat my dinner when the birds start waking up. I don't know what this...
When the birds eat, I eat.
Yeah.
That's when I know. I've come to a good place.
Ethan Butler, quote of the year. When the birds eat, I eat.
The birds don't work for the bourgeoisie. They work for me.
They work for you. And the lasagna I'm going to eat. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
I just
funny.
sit waiting until I hear a chirp.
And then you're out.
The meal's cold by then, but I'll still eat it. But
oh my God. Well, this brings us into some Overwatch news. I mean, we're wearing the sweaters. We're talking about some Overwatch shenanigans. Some huge signings have happened, and we finally got some news for some Toronto Defiant boys. Ethan, where do you want to start?
Man, let me say that without cracking my voice. Man. Man.
Yeah.
This has been wild. But all right, so yeah, Toronto. I think this happened after our last podcast. So Toronto Defiant signed new head coach. I think this also happened after our podcast. Logix was re-signed. Thank Mr. Logix.
Thank
we can
God.
all praise him.
Thank God he stayed.
Oh, I was so scared because that day when everyone was dropping, I think I mentioned like it was coming down to the wire. They dropped everybody in like 20-minute increments. 20 minutes go by after Kareev was let go, and I was like, all right, where's Logix? 25 minutes, nothing. 26, still nothing. 34, nothing. And I was like, all right, am I safe? And people were talking about, yo, Logix is safe on Twitter. I was like, yo, shut the fuck up. They'll hear you. But yes, Logix is safe. The man, the myth, the legend is back. Wait, I do have my, there we go, my autograph photo of him in a Defiant jersey. So
That's still kicking. That's still relevant.
Yeah, but yeah, Logix was signed, and KDG, former host, coach. I guess he hosted some things, probably maybe a dinner party.
Yeah, for sure.
But of the Philadelphia Fusion is now the head coach of the Toronto Defiant. And as we all know, Philly had a pretty good season if you don't look at the playoffs.
Yeah. I think I said it a couple podcasts ago before the finals, but if you can get literally anyone from the Fusion's like bullpen, if you could find literally anyone who's been in that room, get them. Like that, it's so important to like start building your team with like the right pieces. And like sometimes people are more knowledgeable than others, but simply from KGD, like I assume he's an amazing coach, and we're gonna see how he does with the Toronto Defiant.
I like to think he's doing all right. He did pretty well with Seoul Dynasty in season 2, I think, and then coming to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they boomed in Korea, but like that's sure that's unfortunate. That sucks, but like they were pretty dominant up until that point. Like who was the team that ruined the hopes and dreams of the Washington Justice fans?
It was Philly Fusion. You're right.
And a swift 3-0.
Yeah.
So like, and now that he's going to have control of building the roster, that makes me very happy because I think he has experience with mixed rosters, which is something we've talked about before. How much I think we very much advocate for that.
For sure, 100%.
And so I think even if they go like 3-4 Western players and fill out the rest with Korean players, Chinese players, whatever you want to do, that's great because I think the players will help each other grow, and like that's a great atmosphere that will represent the city of Toronto well. Because Toronto is such a diverse city, and so the team that represents Toronto, in my eyes, should be quite diverse. And so I think it's going to be good. I think we'll see who he maybe fills out the rest of his coaching staff with, but Logits is a good place to start because at least you have someone you know he popped up pretty consistently. To be quite honest, this season he was the best player on Toronto Defiant, bar none, like all season.
100%.
Maybe other than Kriv, he was the best.
Yeah, I would agree. And we know that boy got paid, so that's good.
Cool, yeah.
I don't know if Logix like has an agent yet or whatever, but that boy better have gotten paid. If he's the only remaining roster player, like they kept him for a reason, that boy made bank for sure.
I want to see him happy.
Yeah.
I want to see Logix happy.
Yeah.
And on a good team. Because I love Toronto, but this season they did struggle. Logic's last Overwatch League team before that was the Florida Mayhem when they were struggling. So I'd like to see Logic's like a consistently winning team. He's never been the problem.
Mm-hmm.
His entire career, that boy's had bad luck in a lot of ways on the teams he seems to find himself on. They just seem to struggle. But I think the Defiant now have a good plan. Their owner has said that they have a 2-year plan for success, essentially. So this year could be more like they're establishing themselves. Maybe they'll win the championship. Who knows? But I think this is going to be a really good place to build a championship team from.
Yeah, I just want to be out of the bottom 5.
One can dream.
Like I'll take a Valiant spot. I'll be 7th. I'll be 8th. That's cool. I'll take that.
Patrick, what does it feel like? Do you think to like be a fan of a team that's not in like the bottom 5 of the league? I don't know.
That loses and wins. I'm not sure.
I celebrate with my favorite team 3 times, I think. One of those was in the playoffs against this team.
Yeah.
Which was also, if you look, I apparently have, I'm a glutton for punishment because every team I choose seems to, I decided to cheer for Vancouver this year. Essentially, at the beginning of the year, I did.
Yeah. I think
they got better. I think. But
yeah, I think if Logic has bad luck, I think you also have a little bit of bad luck.
I think that's going to change. Boston we're on the up and up. I'm telling you right now.
Is there any news out of the Boston camp?
The only news I've seen so far is the other day or yesterday. I Am 37 posted the looking for team Overwatch League, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Which he deserves. He won Korean contenders with WGS Phoenix, and he's really good, apparently. Again, he's always been good. And then, you know who retweeted that with like the eyes quotes emoji type stuff?
Mm-hmm.
The head coach of Boston Uprising, Lori. And so I was like, you motherfucker, do not tease me like this. Give me my IM37 and Jerry to duo. Maybe sign, you already got color hats, so sign another flex DPS to balance out some of the heroes color hats struggles on.
Yeah. And
then you're covered for double hit scan. You'll be covered for anything like that. And I think that's a good place to start. They need to also get a really good main support to complement Myeonbon. This man has put his heart and soul into Boston at this point. He believes in Boston. He's committed to Boston. Give that man what he deserves.
Yeah, 100%. I really like the idea of I'm 37 going to Boston.
I think so. I think it'd be a good fit.
That fits a lot of stuff for them.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. Anyways, that's cool. There's
But
there is the other news. Well,
Please.
I almost got duped. Well, first of all, and I think and I'm glad we talked about it before the podcast, because I would have looked like such an idiot saying it on the podcast. So
you're not alone.
I'm cruising Twitter, as one does, and I see a signing notice from what I thought was the official Dallas Fuel page about Moth coming over. And I was like, oh my God, what a great pickup. And I was like, so excited to talk to you about it today. I was like, oh man, this is crazy. And then I say, oh man, like, do you see that Moth going over to Fuel? And you went, what? No, that's a fake account, Patrick.
I've been, when that account first came out, I was bamboozled by it at least once, because I know, like, because it looks so official. Like, they even got the Dallas Ghoul. They've got the whole account, everything. Like,
they matched it so perfectly.
It's so perfect. Like, it's obviously the account's not verified, so there's that, and the follower count's like 140 compared to Dallas Fuel's actually over like multiple thousands. I'd have to look it up.
Right.
But man, like the Moth post though was identical to like their fielder post, any post they've had for signings. When they made that post, they worked hard on that. That debate was not without effort.
Yeah.
Because that Moth video the highlights was so well done. It was just like how the Dallas Fuel did their other videos. So like, why would you, if you weren't paying attention to the like two things, you would be. I know a lot of people got duped by it. It wasn't just. It was like half the community got duped by it.
I felt so stupid. I as soon as you told me that it was fake, I went back and looked, and I was like, how, God damn it. I can't believe this friggin' got me, man. I was so mad. It looks
so good though.
It
like
does.
You would never suspect that if you weren't like ready for it. You'd be like, oh, what, Moth? But then you have to remember Moth wasn't on the Paris Eternal last year, so I don't know if Dallas would sign him, to be honest. Like
yeah, you were saying everyone and their mother from the Paris Eternal is getting signed by Dallas.
Well, essentially, yeah, Dallas looked at Paris and was like, is for me? And just and like they took their head coach, one of their assistant coaches, their star DPS, their off tank, their flex support. Somehow Etsy is not here yet. He could come. I've heard rumors he's not, but he's definitely looking for a team, I think. But because Paris is probably going to go back to like a French team. Honestly, a French super team, it didn't do well in the first time they tried it, the more angled. But I think the players have improved, and you can pick up, to replace Hanbin, you can get Poto maybe, because Poto's available. Main support, you got FD God. I hope he's not going anywhere.
He better not go anywhere. For sure, you should stay.
Flex support's a bit tricky for like, because there are European options of flex support, but I'm struggling to think of a French option.
Yeah,
so I can't remember who played flex support for. No, Gray's Portuguese, so it wasn't Gray. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of their 2019 World Cup team.
Let's get Unco back in.
Oh God, he's going pro in Valorant. Didn't you hear?
Oh well, you know.
I mean, which ex-Overwatch pro isn't going pro in Valorant at this point? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Trill's doing it. I know Taimu kind of tried. I don't know if he's still trying, but
oh man,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Yeah, a lot of Koreans going over to the Fuel and over to what was I saying? I just lost my Eternal. That's what I was gonna say.
It's a funny sort of world going on right now because there's teams going full. Like Justice committed to full Korean. Dallas Fuel's. I'm like 90%. I'm gonna say 99% sure because there's always that they haven't filled their entire roster, but I'd be surprised if they weren't full Korean.
Yeah,
Dallas Fuel. But then you've got London Spitfire basically confirming to go EU Western to try and build up the talent in the EU region. And same with, it's looking like that Paris is going that way. So there's teams going full Korean. There's teams going from Korean to Western. There's teams going from Western to Korean. It's all over the place. The offseason is wild, wild west right now, essentially.
Yeah. Literally everyone's going everywhere. It'll be interesting to see where the pieces fall.
Except for Dante.
Ooh, yes.
He's staying in Houston.
Of course. Well, I mean, it took us so long to get Dante over there. Like, we're not letting him go.
No, he probably had multiple offers, but Houston would have to pay him out the wazoo, I think, to stay.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
He's definitely a player who's getting
Oh, he's the franchise
he's
boy.
getting his, you know what I mean? He's getting that green.
Cool man, him just, buddy boys. That's what
Fucking-
they are. They're cozying up. They're being best buds.
Goddamn cool, Matt, being the GM. That's so funny.
Oh, I love it.
I still think it's cool. I still don't know about it, but I still think it's cool.
I hope he does well. I think he's done a good job at having Jumbuck
Mhm.
and now signing Dante. So it's like Toronto. You've done great things now in the coaching department, and you've signed a star franchise player.
Yeah,
And
you
so-
can't go wrong with that.
Good place to start.
Yeah, and I mean, we will be keeping everyone up to date once we hear new things going on in the Overwatch League signings.
Oh, yeah.
But one thing I wanted to close out the podcast with was an esport that's near and dear to my heart, and I know near and dear to Ethan's heart.
I want to see it grow.
Halo Infinite has been getting a lot of publicity, a lot of attention for good reasons and for bad. But today we're going to talk about the bad reasons.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, Halo Infinite, a while back, its release date was pushed back, which had a lot of people a little bit on edge, a little bit freaked out, especially in the esports community who, the best Halo players are still playing Halo 5, a game from like 6 years ago. So everyone was really excited for Halo Infinite to be coming out very, very soon. But with Halo Infinite being released being released later in the year, a lot of stuff has happened. So we found out that microtransactions are going to be in Halo Infinite. We also found out that armor colorings and stuff is going to be unlockables. They're going to be stuff that you can purchase, stuff that you unlock as you progress, which has a lot of people kind of on edge because now I can't just make my Spartan a bunch of random colors when I'm feeling excited,
That rubs me the wrong way a bit. Because I think having different armors be unlockable is great for progression. It inspires players to keep going, like different helmets, jetpacks, like greaves on your arms and legs. That stuff's fine to be unlockable. That gives you a reason to play through. Colors is just kind of dumb. Why is that unlockable? It's how much do I have to play to be the pink Spartan now?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Why is it? That's just so petty.
Yeah, where in what height? Because now that you're gonna make it purchasable, what is the hierarchy of colors? What is gonna be the hardest to get, and what's the easiest to get?
How much is it would color combinate? What's a blue and yellow made green?
Yeah,
is green higher than blue and yellow? Then
is that how it's gonna work?
Two colors to make one?
Yeah.
How does this work? You're right. Where does it stop? Where does it end?
Where is it gonna stop?
Give us our simple Halo.
Give me Halo or give me death. But I mean, the microtransaction system, it's not gonna be something that's going to affect new players, because I feel like a lot of new players who are going to be playing Halo Infinite are going to be coming from Fortnite, are going to be coming from Valorant, they're going to be coming from these other modern FPS shooters where microtransactions and purchasables and unlockables is a normal thing. They have something like an unlock system in the Halo Chief Master Chief Collection, and it's just basically you progress, you earn currency every time you level up, and you spend that currency to purchase visor skins and gun skins and stuff like that. But you're given all of the armor out the get-go. You're given all the armor pieces, you're given all the colors, and it's just going to be very interesting to see how that translates going forward. Because like I said, players who are going to just be jumping into Halo Infinite just fresh, they haven't played any of the Halos before, it's not going to be an issue for them. It's just going to be an issue for the 30-year-olds who have been playing Halo since they were 10.
I say the old
guard.
I don't know if this is the inappropriate word. Fogies. I've heard that in college humor sketches before. That the old fogies like us who are just we just want we want Master Chief back, okay? We've been stopped playing the campaigns for ODST, the anime style, real moody. When you were doing, oh man, your narration was so good.
The moody ODST. Yeah.
Why are we here? Oh my.
It just turned into an anime for me. I was like, Hakuga, my sister.
We have to find her.
We have to find her.
And then I just want a new campaign.
Mhm.
Well, I'm probably going to still play the old ones many times as we do. But just give me the game.
Exactly.
I want it. Well, make it good first, but then do it.
Yeah. The other news with that was that the leading developer of Halo Infinite, after the release date was pushed back, actually walked off of the project and was seeking quote unquote new opportunities within 343. So he's still a part of the organization. He's still a part of 343. He's working on other games for them. But at this stage in Halo Infinite, he believes that he's no longer needed. So he's just going off and doing other games. But that looked really bad. Outside looking in, it looked awful just because the release date gets pushed back and then the leading developer is canned essentially.
Yeah, it doesn't look good to get fans interested in your game.
Yeah,
and I mean, we're already interested, but like certain people who are on the fence because some maybe not been fans of certain recent Halo games.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're trying to bring people back, and I've seen the esports scene start to perk up again. Like people are announcing teams, leagues are forming back up again, and so if you want to really like Halo could be a bigger esport again, it just needs a game.
Exactly. Exactly. We just need a modern game. We need a modern Halo to even just have a chance. And you're right, because the viewership is going, like, just on Twitch numbers, like the viewership is going up for Halo 5 and the Master Chief Collection. It's not a lot. Like, we're still sitting at like the peak is like 3K, so it's like really not a lot of people.
No, but
it's better than the 20 that we were getting like 5 months ago, you know?
Like when Infinite comes out, you'll see a spike, and if you can maintain that with your goodwill and like esports scenes and whatnot, it's good. It could compete with Call of Duty again if it's handled well, because like Halo has always been competing with Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
And so if you want, like, the Call of Duty league is doing super well, to be honest. Like it was very successful for Blizzard. And so was it Blizzard? No. Was it? Yes, it was. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And so either way, you could have a successful Halo league if handled well.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But with that interesting, exciting news, that brings us to the end of our podcast episode. Ethan, do you want to leave the listeners with any thoughts?
Be kind to yourself and others, my friends. It's all going to be okay.
Okay.
Eventually. One day, we are infinite.
We'll play Halo at some future date, but we will get back to all of y'all next podcast.